Hi guys, today I've got another tool from Tool Talk. Today I've got the Wiha torch, and this is great. Recently I've been working on a building site. Obviously there's not as many lights in the plots as you'd like, and you need some light. Unfortunately it was all metal studded rooms, so this has got 3 little magnets, as you can see. And what I would do is I would mount that to the stud, turn the light on, and I could angle that towards me or away from me because it is quite bright. And it was perfect. I don't have any other torch apart from a couple of DeWalt ones that I do use occasionally, but they're quite bulky and big, whereas this fits perfectly in my tool bag. And as I said, I could fix that onto the stud, and I could aim that to me or away from me, depending where I was working. And it was great. It was absolutely superb. I was quite surprised at how bright it really is. I've never had any Wiha tools before, but I was quite impressed. It's got a nice red rubber moulding around the edge that would deflect some damage if you dropped it. And it's also got obviously the 2 silver grills at the front. I guess if you were to drop it, that's going to stop it from touching the actual screen, which is sort of like a plastic. And it's also got a little thread there, so I'm guessing that you could put a hook on it of some sort. But working on the site that I was on, it was perfect. As I said, for such a small little compact light, it does give out a lot of light. So what does it say? Input 5 volts. Made in China. Obviously, what do you expect? But that doesn't mean that the quality is bad. This is plastic. The back is plastic as well. But to be honest, it's quite robust. Even there, if I'm just holding it like that, it does hold itself quite well. And obviously installing air conditioning, I do quite a lot of service work as well, so being able to stick this onto a condenser and then being able to rotate it down means that I'm able to get light from above, which is really handy. So yeah, on the back of it you've got a little micro USB port in there that you can charge. I had it running for about, I would say, 45 minutes, and it only dropped by one little bar. So you can see there you've got the little indicators there. So obviously when it's going down in battery, it will just slowly drop down, and there is your on button. But with the magnets, it's perfect. The only thing that I would say would have been a bit nicer is if you were able to flip it round a bit more. This being quite fixed is sometimes not the easiest way to be able to get the light to face at you. I mean, if you're over in the corner, you could aim it over like that. But it would be nice if you were able to have a bit more flexibility with this pivot, because there would be occasions where that wouldn't be enough. And also, if you don't have anything magnetic to stick to, it's not really gonna be too great. I mean, it does rest. It does rest itself quite nicely with the mount at the back. But obviously that means it's going to be on the floor, and if it's on the floor, you're not really going to get that much light. So that's just something to bear in mind if you're working a lot of studded houses with wood. It's probably not going to be the greatest solution, to be honest with you, unless you're able to put some sort of fixing to hold it in. But I'll show you how bright it is. I'll try not to blind you. So as you can see, it is quite bright. So you've got 2 different settings. So that's on your brightest there, off. So you got your your least bright, your brightest, and then you're off. As I said, it is extremely bright for what it is. I'm not quite sure how many lumens it is, but as I said, compared to a typical DeWalt torch, I'd probably say it's on par with that, and obviously that's 18 volt. So this is doing pretty well for the batteries that are in it. It wouldn't last obviously as long as a batteried one, but I'd say it's just as powerful. So if you're working in places like risers that need, or plots on building sites, or just anywhere that's dark, that you can fix this onto the stud work with the magnets, you probably won't find any better. It is quite pricey. I think it's above £50, but for what you get, it's quite good. As I said, I can fit this in my bag and not worry about it, whereas a DeWalt torch or a power torch is quite big, bulky, and this is just nice and small, can fit in somewhere quite compactly. So I'll just show you completely what it's like with the light off. So as you can see, that is pretty bright. I mean, you can see all the way to the back of my shed there, and that's only on the second from the brightest. So there you go, look. That is extremely bright. And it's sort of a white LED. So as I said, typically I would sort of fix that to a bit stud and just have this angle to and from where I'm working. But it's extremely bright for the size of it. I don't think you could ask for more. And as Wiha, it's the first Wiha tool that I've ever had, and I think it's great. I'd never heard of them before until now, but it's perfect. So thanks Tool Talk, and yeah, really appreciate it. Great torch. Thanks guys.